Welcome to Project Pro Code Recipe. In this video, we are going to learn on how to create and optimize a baseline lasso regression model. So this is my code snippet. I have copied this code and I pasted that in my Jupyter notebook. I will run for you the code over here and as well as explain to you the code. So let's get started. First of all, what is lasso regression model? So lasso regression is also a type of linear regression, but it also has a regularization parameter. So what is regularization parameter? We generally use regularization parameter in order to avoid overfitting. What is overfitting? So when you train a model, sometime your model tries to fit so well in your training data set that it becomes prone to mistakes for testing data set. That is, if any new data points are seen by the model, it is not able to predict properly for the new seen data points. So this is what overfitting is, and we need to prevent that. In that case, we add a parameter name as regularization parameter L1, which is for lasso regression model. So then you must be familiar uh, with the minimization technique, that we need to minimize the penalty. So generally the penalty in linear regression is given by least square of the predicted minus the least square of the weight of the coefficients is given by the least square of the weights. In that, we add a regularization parameter lambda 1, which is absolute value of the coefficients, lambda 1 into absolute value of the coefficients. Now this lambda decides now this lambda is the parameter that needs to be tuned, or this lambda is a regularization parameter. So when lambda is infinity, this means my coefficients, all the coefficients are 0. Whereas when lambda sometime the lambda can be set in such a manner that my overall coefficients become 0. In that case, this means lasso regression also helps me to select important features by neglecting some of the features by making their coefficients 0. So this was all about lasso regression. Now let's get started. So def snippet underscore 149, this is the name of the function. These are two general print statements. In order to ignore warnings, I have imported warnings. Now after that, I'm loading libraries. So from sklearn, I'm importing my data set. Sklearn comes with pre-installed data sets. You can use that for your machine learning practices. And after that, I'm also importing decomposition. So decomposition is a method of reducing the dimension of your data set. Suppose your data set contains 1000 rows, but you want to reduce the dimension to 500. In that case, you decompose the data, that is, you try to reduce the number of dimensions of the data. But remember, you have to always select between time and accuracy. When you reduce the number of columns, it reduces the accuracy, but and it also reduces the time complexity. So but when the number of columns are more, the accuracy increases, but it also increases the time complexity of your model. And after that, I'm importing from sklearn, I'm importing linear model, as lasso regression is a linear model. From pipeline, importing pipeline. So pipeline is basically a function that creates a workflow for you. This makes using your pre-processing, the all the pre-processing that you need to do, as well as implementation of the model, very easy, and it can be used time and again. From model selection, I am importing grid search CV. This is for hyperparameter tuning. And cross validation score basically splits my dataset into smaller sections, and it is generally helpful during class imbalance. So class imbalance is, suppose at the time of classification problem, there are two classes, but your dataset has 10,000 rows. Now 9,700 rows are from only uh, a class A, whereas 300 rows are from class B. So while training your model, when you perform trend trace split, this may happen that the training contains only the training happens only on the class A model. Now when you predict for class B, the it predicts complete error. In order to avoid that, we use cross validation score, so that my classification type B also comes under the training. After that, from the scalar pre-processing, I'm importing standard scalar. So standard scalar is standard scalar is a type of scaling. It scales all your features onto a single scale. Now your age, there are two columns named age and your salary. The age is between 0 to 100, whereas salary can be between 30,000 to 50,000. We scale that down so that when weight are initialized, they are initialized in a similar fashion, so that none of the column get much more importance as compared to other. After that, I'm importing Boston dataset, datasets dot load Boston. X is the feature column and Y is the target variable. And after that, I've initialized standard scaling under the name SC, PCA principal component analysis decomposition under the name PCA, and I have also initialized my lasso regression model under the name lasso, linear model dot lasso. After that, I'm making my pipeline. So the pipeline steps, my workflow follows: first perform standard scalar, then perform PCA, that is principal component analysis, and at last perform the regression and train my model for me. So here I'm creating a list of sequence from range 1 to the total number of the x dot shape. Yes, the x dot shape gives me the shape, that is the rows and columns. So after that, I'm for hyperparameter tuning of lasso regression, I'm just using two parameters. You can go to lasso regression documentation in sklearn documentation and can select more parameters, or and can learn about more parameters and use them for your hyperparameter tuning. So normalization, true and false, where it will normalize or not. Selection is cyclic and random. Cyclic means in a cyclic order, random means it will randomly select my features. After that, I'm creating dictionary for parameters. So parameters will PCA underscore n component, lasso normalize, lasso selection equal to selection. After that, this CLF equal to grid search CV. I'm initializing my grid search CV under the name CLF. I'm passing two parameters, my pipeline, that is my workflow, and after that my parameters for my parameter tuning. And CLF.fit x and y, this will fit my model. Now print best number of components. It will give me the best number of components that I should use. So CLF.best estimated dot get parameters, that will give me the parameters. And after that, print CLF best estimators dot get parameter lasso for lasso regression. This will give me for PCA n component, that is the total number of best number of components that I should use in my PCA analysis, and after that the number of parameters that I should use in my lasso. After that, I'm performing cross validation. So CV result cross validation, CLF my grid search CV, my x y cross validation equal to 10, n jobs equal to -1, and scoring method should be R2. So n jobs, basically this means parallel computation. Suppose I need 5 parallel computations, this will increase my computation. I could have also whereas when I give n job equal to -1, this means it will use all number of possible parallel computation that it can use. Now here my computer is an octa core, so it can do 8 parallel processing at the same time. Okay, and CV means 10, it will perform 10 grids as CV. After that, CV result dot mean, it will give me the mean, and CV result dot standard scalar. So here total number of best component for PCA n component. Now suppose my Boston dataset contain 20 columns. After that, in PCA, this tells me, for PCA decomposition, it tells me that select 5 number of components. So for PCA decomposition, you also need to pass the total number of components. Now suppose you want a 20 number of components to be decomposed into 7, you can pass the n component 7. Here I have performed grid search CV on PCA as well, so it will give me the best number of components. After that, it has given me the best parameters for my lasso. So you should take normalization as false, whereas you should for selection it should be cyclic rather than random. Now these are my 10 score for grid search CV, and after that this is the mean, whereas this is the standard deviation. So this was all about the codes. For more code snippets like this, you can visit our website, or you can also go to our YouTube channel for more relevant projects, real industry based projects. To our website, as you can see, the projects are over here on my right. The URL for these code will be available in the link in the description below in the video. Thank you.